everybody. Welcome to another edition of Buffy Bidrich. Dent Sports. I'm Don.
I'm Steve.
And let's go. Let's dive into it. Hockey season, huh?
Yes, another fine season.
Yes, we're starting off well. I know for the Avalanche side, we caught a little bit of the injury bug. And then Minnesota decided to give us a catch of the COVID.
Yeah.
So this week has been pretty quiet for us.
Yeah. You haven't been showing up, but it's not because it's your call.
Yeah, exactly. We're getting paid for not suiting up.
Yeah.
So it's been a weird week, but I guess in a certain kind of luck, I guess it's good because I know McKinnon and I had like 6 or 7 guys going on the injury list.
Yeah.
So maybe with the extra week or two, that might either reduce their time or eliminate their time of being injured. So it might end up to be a blessing instead of a
exactly.
hindering.
And it's a nice rest for the other guys that are healthy.
Yeah.
So
as far as coming up, looks like we've got pretty much got everything's eliminated. So everything's going to pretty much start next week. So we got a game on the 14th. We start our series with the Golden Knights,
Nice.
Which will be a tough series to come off of Corona protocols, and again, whoever's healthy and not healthy, because again, it'll be tough to beat them most of the time, even if we're at full strength.
Yeah.
Because they're one of the better teams in the league, as far as what they've been showing over the last several years since they became a team.
Yep.
They've been pretty solid. And unfortunately, though, that they're going to be holding a home game up here at Tahoe. Of course, it's an Avalanche apparently home game, but they're going to be holding the game up here in Tahoe, and of course, no fans are involved. So, good job for me.
That's just the way of it. I think there's actually several games going on up there, right?
Yeah. There's a Philadelphia and Boston game the next day up there. So it's all good. For it, but like I said, it's just disappointing that it had been the easiest way for me to see an Avalanche game. Of course, I can't say anything that how much the prices would be. It'd probably be more than a regular Avalanche game that I see back in Colorado.
Yeah,
most likely. Would be screwed by that. But it's all right. At least I can sit home and watch it on TV.
No, exactly,
So.
and it would have been nice for Bryson too, being a Boston fan. So
Yep.
he could have went up and saw that game. That would have been neat. But yeah, it's definitely some strange times right now. So kind of take what you can get at this point. At least we're having a season.
Yep.
So that's a good sign. As far as the Pistons side of things go, it's just the same old. Just find new ways to lose every night. Got off to a strong start tonight. Got up 1-0, and. They played actually pretty well. I mean, they were in the game the whole game, and they ended up losing 2-1. But again, it's like close isn't good. It's like you got to win.
Yeah.
And they're just, they've got a lot of young talent there, but they're just not too close to being where they need to be. So I'm hoping, in the future things will get better. I do think Yzerman's the right guy for the job there, and I think he'll get it turned around. He just has to.
Well, if he does half what he did in Tampa,
yeah, he'll
it's at least better in the right direction than what it was.
No, and nobody cares about Red Wing hockey more than he would. So it's, he's definitely the right guy. I'm really pleased that he decided to come there. So
exactly.
The only unfortunate thing for all of us Detroit fans is no matter what league we look at, we're in rebuilding mode.
Yeah, it's pretty much that's the word should be called the Detroit rebuilds.
Right.
At this point,
it's just that's the model right now of all the Detroit teams. It's like,
in the city in a way.
Yeah.
Because with everything going on around there, around that area, it's been rough.
Yeah, and even college town. Even the colleges there are struggling too. So it's like it's just not a good time for Detroit and Michigan sports in general. So
I even saw a guy in Ann Arbor on Bard Rescue. He was having issues. So it was bad. So
no, it's not good. Red Wings are, this is kind of what I expected. It's going to be, wins are going to be few and far between. But we're playing decent hockey. We're staying in the games usually, so there's some things to be looked at in a positive way. But let's flip the switch and talk about a little basketball.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of the Pistons and the Nuggets, the Pistons were going to play us, and then they came up with COVID tracing, so that canceled the game for us. And then subsequently after that, we're currently on a 4-game losing streak. So, or at least 3 games, might be 3, might be 4, I can't remember. But we lost to the Lakers, we lost to the Kings again. We're having a tough time beating the Kings, which is not good. And then last night or night before, we lost to the Bucks, which was tough. But again, it's the same thing, kind of like we said with the team. It's either they're going to get their COVID or injuries, and we can't get everybody to play at once. So hopefully that will remedy itself here soon. We got one of our old friends and Nevada alum, JaVale McGee, coming into town, I think, tomorrow. So hopefully we'll see if we can get a W from the Cavs, because we definitely need to win. Yes. We're going in the wrong direction. And then we got, the powerhouse Thunder, which is always a title contender. And then we got this chump named LeBron coming in again. Whatever that guy is.
That'll be an easy win.
He's overinflated. And then that starts off the next week. Then we got looks like an Eastern road swing of Boston, Washington, Charlotte, and Atlanta. So hopefully, if everything goes well, we can cross our fingers and maybe get get on a winning streak, and put ourselves in a good spot before we go on that long road trip for the following week, which I'm sure we'll cover in next week's edition, because we'll get results from this, and that will give us another a week of stuff to talk about. But so far though, it's the same thing, just inconsistency, because nobody's on the court at the same time.
Right. No, it's a constant struggle.
So, but speaking of Nugget All-Stars, I mean, we had Grant and Plumlee, showing out for the Pistons here in the last few games.
Yes. No, exactly. Grant's actually been a real nice surprise for us. I mean, not that I didn't expect good things from him, but I didn't expect the offensive output that he's putting out.
Yeah, he didn't show up for us.
No, he's a different player. Yeah. I mean, for whatever reason, it's a different guy.
Exactly.
But Pistons, speaking of some moves and stuff, they currently just sent Derrick Rose to New York for Dennis Smith Jr. and a 2nd-round pick. I'm actually in favor of this. I was really a big Derrick Rose fan, still am, but I think personally, I mean, they're not going anywhere anyway, and he was there primarily probably just to nurture the young guys along, and so and I think Dennis Smith Jr.'s got some future. He's young, he's good, and then to get a pick on top of it, I think it was a good move. Yeah. For the Pistons, I mean, like we said, they're in a rebuild, and so if that's the case, we just need to, do what we can to, try to get the pieces in place to when they finally do, hopefully get through the draft this coming year, get a couple more pieces, or maybe, who knows, trade. I mean, Blake Griffin's going to be gone. He's going to be the next piece they move.
Yeah, I would hope so. Because again, he spends more time on the bench than he does on the court. So.
No, you're right. No, exactly. So. I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean,
but that's been his whole career, though.
Yeah.
His whole career has been unfortunate, because he's had talent and he has the skills to play, but he just ends up on the IR list.
Yeah, no.
Too much.
I was looking at some of the numbers on his contract earlier, and he's due to make $137 million, he's due to make $37 million this year, and then next year it's going to go to 38 or 39. Now, the nice thing for Detroit, I mean, is he's only got one more year on his contract after this year. So, I mean, if they can get through that. And I truthfully think, I don't know if he'll be tradable or not at that kind of number. But
you just got to get rid of him. I mean, he's clogging up a roster spot that you can fill with something else that you might be able to use.
Yeah.
Or at least get playing time. At least get 6 fouls out of.
Right.
Because just sitting on the bench and looking pretty. I mean, apparently he's taken the Kardashian model of not doing anything and getting paid a lot. So
yeah. No, exactly. And I mean, and truthfully, that's why these guys all backload their contract.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that kind of stuff, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's why they do it. In case, hey, if I get hurt, I want to be getting paid.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the reason you always have to go with the guaranteed money as much as you can, because you just never know. Yeah. I mean, it could be your night where it ends.
No, exactly.
So.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and like I said, if it was me, I'd be in the same boat. I'd be like, give me how much as I can guaranteed, and then we'll let the rest fall where it mays.
No,
but again, some people though make really awkward decisions though with that. I think if you look at the kind of like the Bryce Harper deal in baseball, where he just wanted the stability per se, and I think he made not as much money if he would have just took the Dodgers. Because again, he'll get another contract.
Right.
Where in Philadelphia, it's pretty much set, and it's going as long as it is. But if he went to the Dodgers, again, if it was, who knows now with the COVID, situation where salaries could be adjusted. But if it was on the trajectory that it was, I mean, you would get another blockbuster deal out of that,
right? And
probably eventually make more. Than what he did in Philadelphia. Not to say that whatever he made in Philadelphia is chump change. I mean, no. He's making it's between do I make 190 or do I make 165 or you know what I mean? Yeah. Whatever it is. It's something ridiculous where he's almost making like $40 million a year. Yeah. So
he's not hurting.
Yeah, so it's all good. So actually, it actually gives us a pretty good segue. Next week we get pitchers and catchers reporting. Good news for the Tigers is I heard that they put the training camp on west side and east side. So if you're on the west side, the Tampa, Fort Myers and all that stuff, you guys get everybody gets to play each other in that segment, and then everybody on the east plays each other and separately. Because I guess the big thing is I haven't been to the Grapefruit for spring training. I guess they said traffic is abysmal. Trying to go from, the West Coast to the East Coast, which I've seen. I mean, Interstate 4 and some other ones are not pretty. But I can just imagine it being a traffic jam. But they're supposed to cut down travel time for that. And then Cactus League, where the Rockies are, they're just going to, I think everything's in status quo because everything's so centralized there. You can get everywhere in probably about, 30 to 45 minutes if you needed to go across town, which I have done before. Going from one game to another. I went to I think it was Cubs Rockies, and then we went across town to see Indians, and no, actually we went to see a Rockies game at the Scottsdale one, and then we had to go to Goodyear to watch the Cubs Indians. But it still wasn't bad. I mean, it was, of course, 5 o'clock rush hour going through it, but it wasn't bad. I mean, we made it, probably, before the game started, if not, right around that time. So, it's beautiful. And like I said, I always like spring training. It's one of the, even I think it's more genuine, to watch, people get in shape and see some of the young kids might not be able to make the team with it. You can pick them out real easy because most of the time there's no name on the back of the jersey. Usually like, oh, that guy's fighting for a roster spot. If they got a name on the back, they're usually going to, he's good. He's in. He's going to make it. But the guys that don't have any names and have
that's the minor leaguers.
Yeah, have like 88 and 98. You're like, oh, those guys are fighting for bread right there. But, good news, after, all this awesomeness, I guess they came out with there's this like Petco or Pacoda or some type of acronym, right? That they put these projections on the season. And of course, who knows if they've counted for trays or anything, but, they got us projected at 60 and 102. So good times.
Well, I'm sure that's higher than what Detroit is.
I don't think so. 60 was about the lowest. But again, it's like everything else, when we say, even for us, we sit here and do predictions and talk about things. And, and try to figure out what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen because again, there's injuries, unruly fans. No, wait, that's from the Wedding Crashers. I'm sorry. You played for the Yankees? Yeah, trades happen. Lost a lot of good men out there. You play baseball? Yeah. But yeah, you just never know because again, whoever who goes down and who could recall, who doesn't play very well.
Yep.
And we'll see what happens. But I saw the Dodgers added another $100 million arm to their rotation, so good for them.
Must be nice.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sitting here going, we're paying that money to get rid of our all-star players.
Yeah.
They're actually bringing in people. For that time, for that kind of money.
We're paying that to have guys leave.
Yeah. So
please leave.
Yeah, please leave. Go. We don't want you here anymore. So so hopefully next week we'll start getting to at least some of the onslaught of spring training.
Yes.
I could see, pitchers and catchers and see what kind of non-pitching I have, for this season. So
see what kind of, great upside we have to look at here.
Yeah. Yeah, rebuild.
Yeah.
So
I'm extremely excited about it.
Yeah. So I think that will do it for tonight's action. Please like, subscribe, hit the strike zone on the subscribe button, right?
Yep,
if you're a Rockies or Tigers pitcher, you'll probably miss it, but try again.
Buff you Bidrich?
Yeah, Buff you Bidrich is always hashtag. Hashtag Buff you Bidrich. Hey, we got a hashtag we can start now. All right. I think I'm going to do that for our Twitter feed and stuff like that. So check that out too as well. We're gonna branch out into more avenues and I think a little bit more consistency here. Starting here with the new 2021 because we'll probably have a little bit more to talk about and we got a lot of stuff that's still coming up with the NFL. I mean with the Lions rebuilding stuff and then with us, who knows what we're gonna do, but. If either Watson or Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson want to stop by, we're here. Hey Russell, you don't like your offensive line? Well, come on down. We've got some offensive line we'll work with for you. I don't mind it. Sounds good to me. I'll do the Russell. But anyway, if you guys want to put down comments and tell us we're full of shit, then go ahead and we'll tell you the same thing. And if there are any comments or anything, we'll let you know and we'll decide if we're going to put it on the air or not. We'll give you a finger. Thumbs up. Yes. So, all right, guys, stay safe out there and we will see you next time.
Yes.
Bye.
Good night.